day, everybody. And of course, everybody knows that college football media days and all the big boy conferences are pretty much wrapped up. When I say big boy conferences, I'm pretty much talking about the SEC and Clemson. So, with that being said, so now's the time when I can give my preseason picks and whatnot of who I think is going to win the conferences, Heisman's, who's going to be the playoffs, and who's going to be the national champions, who's going to be the dark horses, who's going to falter, and all this and that and another, and marquee position battles that have not been yet decided, but yet may be decided, or who knows, or like I said, some positions, like just because there's not a clear-cut guy, just because one guy's named starter day one, doesn't mean that guy's going to be the guy that's the main guy by the end of the season. Like I said, barring potential injuries or whatever, like I said, just going by performance, or if someone needs a little time to develop a little more, like a lot of times you'll see with a veteran, and you'll see them start 2 or 3 games and be subpar, maybe not great. Well, subpar, not great, but then they get replaced, like Kelly Bryant. Yeah, you know how that goes. But hell, anyways. And we'll also talk about new faces and new places. So with all that said, let's get it underway. Alright, let's see, starting off, SEC, God's football country. Alright, of course, if you got to pick from the SEC West, preseason, hands down, you've got to go Alabama pretty much, right? Is that not about right? But, it is, what does it say about a conference whose division is so freaking top heavy? It doesn't get much heavier than this. If you want to talk about heavy conferences, you can say the Big Ten, East or whatever. Fuck that. SEC West. Alabama. They're at the top of a top-heavy fucking conference, top-heavy fucking division. Everybody over there in the SEC West is straight up legit, and they could actually quite possibly win the West and the SEC, with the exception of Arkansas and probably Ole Miss and Mississippi State. So, but the other teams, Auburn, Texas A&M, LSU, Alabama, they all can win it. Either one of them can win it. But, you got to go by the chance percentage, and of course, you got to say Alabama just because, like I said, they're the heaviest of a top-heavy division. And, the reason why I say they're the heaviest of the two heavy, because who else in the nation would want to play? If you're one of them bottom 3 teams, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, you got to play them guys. Nobody else would want us to swap out any fucking 4 games for them 4 teams. It would be absolutely ludicrous. I'm just saying, and I'm right. When I'm right, I'm right. Hell, when I'm wrong, which is never, I'll let you know when that happens. Hell. But anyways, Alabama, we're going to go there. And, hey, you know what kills me about Alabama? It's they'll be badass, and then, every year, there's an offensive lineman who's a preseason All-American. Can't remember his name, but, because, I never knew his name. But he's a preseason All-American, and I've never even fucking heard of him. Hell, why the fuck do they do this shit? Every year, it's 3 guys going to be preseason All-Americans who you've never heard of. And then, not to mention, out of the 12 SEC, all-team SEC, goddamn 6 of them are people that you've never heard of. What the fuck? Why the fuck do they do that? Goddamn. What you said is basically saying Alabama, if you go practice at Alabama and you fucking shine in practice, you can be an All-American. You ain't even got to play in the fucking game. Just go practice good. You won't see the field, but guess what? You'll be an All-American. True shit. Alright, now let's move along to the SEC East. SEC East. Man, this is kind of a tough one, because, you pretty much got Florida, Georgia, of course. And then, who else? Missouri came on strong last year, close to the end of the year. Kentucky was a one-hit wonder, I believe. South Carolina's just not there. And I mean, Tennessee, I mean, they made strides. They beat a good Auburn team in Auburn last year. I mean, but on top of that, what else did they do? So of course you got to go with Georgia. Too much talent. So for the third year in a row, you'll get Alabama, Georgia again, SEC championship, and we'll get to see how in a creative way Georgia can blow a game this time against the Tide. Yeah. All right. Now let's move on to the ACC, where we have, of course, Clemson, who's the Alabama Killers, Auburn North, aka. Yeah. So, I mean, hell, if the Auburn South doesn't beat them, hell, maybe Auburn North will. And then, okay, on the flip side against them, we're going to have, let's see, who we're going to have there? Could it be, let's say, you know what? I'm going to throw one out there that's going to be fucking weird, wild, and zany. I'm going to say Duke. Yes, Duke in the house. Why? Because, I mean, they lose a first-round quarterback. I mean, but at the same time, like I said, the Duke boys. Because Virginia Tech, they kind of faltered, had to barely scrape by and win one. But, I mean, if it's not Duke, I'd be legitimate and say maybe fucking, hell, North Carolina. No, not North Carolina. They were horrible last year. So, I'm not really sure how the conferences line up because I'm trying to brainstorm, see who's where and what not. But I think maybe either Duke or a wild card team, like maybe Duke. I just had them on the tip of my tongue a while ago. Oh, good Lord, I can't think of who it was. Duke. Miami. No, not Miami. Damn it, Duke or Virginia. If they're not in the same division as Clemson. Like I said, I'm not looking at my thing right now because I'm actually driving to work. So, I mean, it's just one of the type things. But anyways, moving along. Big Ten. Everybody's high on Nebraska. They started out 0-6 last year. Fucking won like 4 of their last 5 or 6 games. And so now this year they think, goddamn, this quarterback, Adrian Martinez, is goddamn the next future Heisman candidate or whatever. And like I said, he really doesn't impress me too much. And hell, I mean, and Frost, yeah, he's good. He's a good coach, but I mean, like I said, it just goes to show you can be a good coach, but if you ain't got talent, hell, you can't do shit. I mean, hell, they lost to Troy. And Neil Brown happily parlayed that into a damn gig in West Virginia. Yeah, like I said, hell, good coaching, good athletes beats fucking good athlete. Well, no talent with good coaching. Okay, but like I said, over there, like I said, man, how about let's go and say Northwestern repeats because it's Hunter Johnson and Northwestern's got a little talent. No, you know what? How about this? Minnesota winning the Big Ten West. Why? Because Minnesota was very competitive, much like Nebraska. So they probably had a little more talent than Nebraska, and they were younger. They got a lot of key players coming back, and these guys are going to be very, very hungry. And a lot of games they lost was very close. Or well, it was feast or famine. I mean, either they beat good teams bad, or they got blew the fuck out. There was no in between, no margin of error. I mean, that's just the way it rolled, and sometimes it bees like that. But needless to say, Minnesota and their opponent will be Michigan. Michigan finally gets it done, gets over the hump of the Ohio State, and they go to the Big Ten championship. And who knows? Like I said, what happens? They could be in Minnesota. Like I said, I think Minnesota's going to surprise a lot of teams this year. Just wait, watch, and see. Big 12. As much as I hate to say it, but goddamn, you can't go against something that's pretty much in stone. Like I said, I'm going to see a rematch of last year's Big 12 championship. Texas, Oklahoma again, Jalen Hurts and God Lord, what's his name? Oh, good Lord. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. The quarterback they got there, damn, I can't think of his name. And he's going to hate me just because the dude last year, Kyler Murray, fucking dissed him last year. But anyways, Texas quarterback duel again, second time again. Jalen Hurts and Oklahoma battling it out against my Hook'em Horns. And another rematch of the Red River shootout again. And this time, I think it'll go a little different. I think it'll be flip-flop. I think Oklahoma probably win the regular season match, and then Texas win the title game. That would be very, very lovely for Coach Herman and company over there, while they're trying to get Texas back up to respectability and whatnot. And so, hell, that's why I say that right there for that point. But now I'm here, and I will finish this discussion practically